If you are an ex-athlete who's tired, burnt out, injured, frustrated, exhausted, and you're in your 30s, 40s, or 50s, and you're still trying to train like you're 21, or you want to train like you're 21, well then this video is most definitely for you. And today I've actually got some notes here, but I'm going to show you how to train in your 30s, 40s, and 50s to lose weight, build strength, get rid of the injury, whatever it might be, without wrecking your body into a million trillion pieces, okay? Now, before I get into it, this really is only for ex-athletes, firstly, who are between 30 to 50, who want to lose 30 to 100 pounds, but also want to gain strength, get fit, and get healthy. So, a few notes. Firstly, why training like you're 21 doesn't work anymore. Firstly, very obvious to the eye, your body's changed. Like, not only has it changed, but you're older, okay? And so that means a slower recovery because your cells, like your cellular processes, they are slowing down, okay? It's why hair starts to go gray. It's why you don't recover as well. It is why your metabolism kind of goes down a bit, even though you can speed it up. I have a video about metabolism, but you're older, okay? And so your recovery is just naturally going to be lowered, okay? Secondly, there's more inflammation in your body because, yes, your body takes longer to recover, which means that the inflammation to go down, it is going to take longer. But don't worry about either of these things and the other things I'm going to list off, because I'm actually going to share some strategies towards the end as to how to get rid of these problems, right? Third one, less hormone support. So you might have a lower testosterone level, or your growth hormone is slowly going down. Testosterone and growth hormone are the primary two hormones that we would look at with reference to recovery. And if you've ever got your bloods done, there's a high chance that, they're low, or they're just lower than they were when you were 21 or 18, right? Last one is just like a lifestyle thing. More stress, work, kids, whatever. Just lifestyle wise, because of the life you live now, there's probably more stress, more pressure. Not necessarily, like I'm assuming here, right? But from majority of people I've talked to, you know, as you get older, usually there's more stresses in life. So here's one thing, and I know this sounds harsh, but I say it with love, and I say it because you need a wake-up call. A lot of this is just your ego, all right? Particularly men, ego, right? Like, you want to still train like you did in college. You want to feel like you did back then, and you're basically constantly stuck comparing yourself to your younger self. And just understand that mindset-wise, this just keeps you stuck in the issues that you're experiencing now. Not just inflammation and recovery. I'm talking injury, your ability to build muscle, all things, okay? So the real cost here is like re-injuring yourself, right? Just not noticing any progress physically, mental fatigue, burnout, just genuine burnout. And maybe you've ended up like quitting. You're just like giving up, right? Because you're not noticing any progress. So answers, the tips to this scenario, which I run into time and time again with many ex-athletes, is you don't need to necessarily train less. You need to train smarter though, okay? And what I mean by this is like, firstly, you need to genuinely prioritize your recovery. It's not this like soft, like, oh, darling, you need to recover more thing. Like, you actually need to prioritize your recovery. You actually need to invest in your recovery. I don't necessarily mean financially, maybe, but I also mean just like time-wise, you need to invest in your recovery with your own time, okay? What I mean by this is like, for example, having recovery days where maybe you don't train, okay? Or you do like an easy yoga flow, or you start taking sleep supplements so that you sleep better, or whatever it might be. And maybe you invest in a coach to help you with your prehabilitation or rehabilitation, whatever it might be. You need to invest either financially or simply time-wise in your own recovery. Jump in a sauna. You know the things that you need to do to enhance your recovery. If not, you can literally look it up on ChatGPT right now. How do I enhance my recovery? Difference is you need to actually do it, okay? Secondly, lower volume and higher intent. And what I mean by this is like, instead of having like 6 junk gym sessions where you're just like, oh, I'll do this machine now, oh, I'll do that machine now, oh, I'll do this, oh, I'll do that. Like, instead, do 3 to 4 very high quality sessions where you're training to the most optimum degree that you can. You have it all planned out, and less is more, quality over quantity, all right? Joint friendly training as well. So if you do have joints that are a little bit more fragile these days, or that joints that just cause you pain, or you have niggles or anything like that, or you have a bit of arthritis in certain areas, like, you need to swap certain movements that cause you genuine pain for an alternate movement that still activates that particular muscle group without aggravating the injury or the joint or the niggle or the pain, okay? Otherwise, you're just setting yourself up for failure. You are going to create more inflammation, more swelling, and you are just going to be at a higher risk of actually injuring that joint or whatever it is, like, in the future. So why would you do that? Like, don't let your ego get in the way. I see ego get in the way all the time, okay? Next one is to respect inflammation and your own stress load. So understanding, like, we have physical stress when we train hard, or let's just say you're moving house and you're like lifting heaps of heavy furniture. When you're exerting your energy physically at quite a high intensity, just understand that that is a physical stress on the body. Now, physical stress is a good thing, because without a high enough stimulus, our bodies won't be forced to adapt or change. If you're just lifting the same weight that you have for the past 3 years, you're not going to gain any muscle. You'll probably maintain the muscle, but in order for muscle to grow, it has to be forced to adapt. The muscle has to think, oh my gosh, that was really hard, I have to grow, right? And so with respect to this, like, there is a good amount of physical stress, but if it's too much or it's just too often and you're not respecting your own recovery, then you're just going to create more inflammation and higher cortisol levels. Everyone thinks cortisol is linked to junk food and mental stress. It is, but it's also linked to your recovery measures. And so high cortisol is also an indication that you're not recovering properly. And so just understand, like, you have to balance the physical stress of training with family and other mental stress loads. And just understanding that if you are constantly sore, constantly fatigued, exhausted, mentally burnt out, mentally stressed, you're just gonna retain more inflammation in your body, and your body just isn't going to recover as well, right? And this is why I mentioned in the beginning, like, lifestyle factors. You're not an 18, 20-year-old. You have all these other responsibilities, and that's how you can gain more inflammation within your body as well. Last one is cardio is for health, not punishment, okay? And what I mean by this is, like, there are different zones that you can train in within cardio and endurance. Those of you who have a Garmin watch or just do triathlons or marathons or half marathons or something like that, you probably know about zones. But for example, you could, like, break it down, like, your week, and have a day where you do cardio, but it's only in zone 2. So it's still good for your health, but you're not adding a ridiculous amount of stress onto your body. Or daily steps, that's a very low zone form of physical exertion, right? Where it's good for your health, but you're not overly creating too much intensity within your physical exertion measures. Or like HIIT sessions, like high intensity interval training, they're great, right? But at the end of the day, if you're not recovering from them properly, understand that that should be a priority. Maybe you should just do it for a shorter amount of time until you gain the health and fitness and recovery necessary to be able to do it again for that length of a time period. We are talking about your longevity here, not just with living, but I mean training wise as well. There's nothing worse than being able to love and enjoy a form of exercise or a sport, and then because you weren't smart about it, now you're not able to do it or do it properly or do it to the best of your ability, right? Which you've probably experienced being an ex-athlete already. So learn from your own mistakes and don't repeat them. Last one is just a bit of an example, okay? Is like, let's just say you wanted to create a training split for fat loss and you are within the 30 to 50-year-old age bracket. Now, this is just generalized, okay? Take it with a huge grain of salt. For example, like day 1, Monday, for example, you could focus on your upper strength and do a mixture of pushing and pulling movements in the gym. Tuesday, you could do like zone 2 cardio and mobility work. Mobility is incredibly important, not just for range of motion and your ability to do exercises to the most optimum quality possible, but it's also just important for your own state of health. Wednesday, you could do a strength lower workout. Maybe it's associated with hinge movements and squats and things like that. Again, this is very generalized. Thursday, you could have a just pure recovery day where you go in the sauna, you do some really chill yoga, or you do like some conditioning or physio work, or you know, things like that. Saunas, a new study came out recently about that saunas have been scientifically proved now to enhance recovery. Ice baths, though, that is a bit contradictory, and they don't have a heap of like legitimate scientific analyses. I like going in the ice bath for my mental health above anything else. I swear it takes away any sort of anxiety. Anyway, Saturday you could do like steps or outdoor movement with, I don't know, playing some recreational soccer or something like that, right? And then on Sunday you could just have like a pure rest day where you don't do anything at all, really. Like maybe you walk around the house or go and walk to a cafe for breakfast or something like that. This is just an example. But that's like a very good example of like a fat loss split to help you also maintain your health and fitness without burning out your own entire body. I want to emphasize here stretching after you're warm as well. So once you've done a workout or you have done some cardio or steps or something, stretching is so important, because if you don't, like, your muscles are just going to get sorer and tighter as we age. And then if you're training hard on top of that and you are doing those high intensity sessions, then you are creating more boundaries for yourself in the future. So that's about it. Basically, a few things that I want to run through are like the primary mindset shifts here. It's really just about being smarter rather than letting your ego in the way at the end of the day. It's not about giving up or anything about that. It's about adapting your habits for the long term and the long game and the longevity. I don't just mean ages and adding years onto your life. I just mean the longevity of your ability to train and recover well and keep your state of health as healthy as possible. And yeah, just understand that you're not done just because you're 40 or 50 or 30 or whatever your mindset is. It's not that you're done. It's that you are evolving, and therefore you have to do things differently and more mindfully. Yeah, so that's about it. Yeah, if you want to jump on a call to map out a game plan or a strategy for you and see if you are a good fit for what we do, you can book in a call below, but only do it if you're serious, please. Again, there's no guarantee that you are a good fit, but it would basically, you would get an answer as to whether you're a good fit or not. That's all it would be. And yeah, that's about it, really. If you have any questions or if something kind of hit home for you within this video, you can drop it down in the comments below. But I'll keep this one really short and sweet, and I will see you in the next video.